It's just gonna look bad.
You guys are so wild and disturbing. There is a whites-only community being built in the Ozarks. I'm really disturbed. This seems like a reintroduction to segregation. So this community is located on 160 acres of land. It is called Return to the Land. There's about 40 people living on it right now. This includes people of law enforcement and federal agents. Nobody except for whites are allowed on this community compound. You also can't be gay or Jewish. And it is run by this guy right here, Eric Orwell. It's cut off, but he is quoted as saying, "You want a white nation? Create a white town." It can be done, and we're doing it. It says over the last year and a half that they have been building this, what I'm going to call a compound. This movement started organizing online. In an interview with Sky News, this information was found out. I feel like I can't say that, but there were those in references on a public Telegram. There was also 14 words, including and referring to this.
Barak, Yahweh, Alam, Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to TRU-TALK. I just want to give my 2 cents on this. Being a black man that's securing myself, that understand who I am, who my people is, where we come from, the history, understanding America and how it works, understanding life, having peace with myself and God, and seeking peace and love, and peace and love with everybody else, and just given the wisdom and knowledge by the Heavenly Father to be mature and understand better, and to not lead off feelings and emotions and what I think and feel. When it comes to this white only community, I'm happy for them. I truly am. I'm not mad at them. I'm happy. I hope it succeeds. I hope that all their desires and what they want come to pass, as long as it don't success of harming my people or degrading my people. Go ahead, do what you want to do, have fun. Before segregation, the Negroes in this land was doing just fine. Matter of fact, we was selling past the Caucasian when they had 400 years start, when they was giving government help, free this, free that, with nothing. We was building what they call the Black Wall Street. All these communities that they bombed and tore down, and made an excuse, like, oh, it was because of this. No, you don't wipe out a whole city and town for one little issue. It was hate. It was, we already know what it was. It was jealousy. And then they was like, these Negroes are succeeding without us. Let's segregate instead of letting them run their own schools and have their own businesses. They'll just work for us. And when they come in our society, we'll tell them that they got bad hair and they can't wear their hair the way that they want to. They got to palm it up and make their hair look more like ours. And we'll say they got to change the way that they talk, that it's ghetto. And, and a lot of Negroes, even to this day, change who they are to try to fit in this society. to get certain jobs and positions, but still don't get treated equally or with respect like they should. To say all that, to say that, I'm not for the oppression of my people. I'm not for that segregation when there was oppression of our people, but I am from righteous separation. Righteous, uh, how can I put it? I think that's it, righteous separation. Well, everybody is with their own group. We can still coexist, you know. Excuse me, but yes, we can coexist, and we can even uh, work together like trade. You know, trade with one another, do business with one another. But at the end of the day, when it's time to go back home, they go back home to their people, and we go back home to our people. I think that's a more beautiful world and more beautiful world. When you amongst your own people, you don't have to worry about trying to change, try to assimilate and be something you're not, because to fit in this society, to get certain jobs, we have to dull down and even change who we are, from the way we talk to the way that we wear our hair, and it gets so deep to a lot of people have self-hate. Well, because in this society, it's a white society, excuse me, that teaches that and promote that white supremacy, that white people are better than any other group of people. So the lighter you are, and the whiter you are, the better you get treated, the more you say to be beautiful, and that creates for those who not a part of that race or darker than that race are frowned upon, and a lot of times they hate themselves and wish that they was the opposite race. So to just think about, one thing about those who went to Africa or from Africa, they deal with their own oppression, a different type of oppression where, you know, they governments and presidents is basically bought and paid for by the Europeans, and the Europeans really have control over their land, and they oppress and poor, while you know the European come in and manipulate, steal, kill, take a, do it, have their way, do what they want, and even in their own society, the white person is sat up on the pedestal. But nevertheless, it's a different type of life when you grow up around mostly people that look like you, and then they come to America, and races, it's on a whole different other level. Like they never experienced this type of oppression. Is different, where they actually are not the majority but the minority, and it's just different. But you know uh, you have to let somebody that one of them explain how it's different. But I heard many people testify that, but I can't really speak to that because I was born in this cricket society where I always been a majority, and white supremacists, you know it's been what it is. But nevertheless, through the grace of the Most High, through His mercy and wisdom and understanding, and me clinging on to Him, I found my work I found my peace, and I know the truth, and I know that we can admire things about other people without coveting, without wanting to be them. We can appreciate other things about different culture and still love ourselves. We can love ourselves without hating our enemies, or love ourselves without hating other groups. And that's the thing, I believe white people, just as much as my people, have the right to love themselves, to be around themselves, to coexist with people that look like them. So I don't have an issue with these people doing that. I salute them. Once again, it's just your action. What are your intentions? Are your intentions to harm my people, mistreat my people, to disgrade my people? Then if so, then we got a problem. Uh, but nevertheless, even like when some white boys or Mexican or Chinese, it don't matter, any other race, when they be like, I don't like black women. I don't think black women look good. I be shrugging my shoulders like that. Don't bother me, because I'm like, you're not supposed to think that. A Chinese man supposed to think that his woman is the best looking woman. A white man supposed to think that the white woman is the mess and the most beautiful woman. Because I know me, as a black man, there's nothing more beautiful on this earth than a sister. Hands down. And I don't, other women's, white, Mexican, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Brazilian, you know, however you want to say it, what's the name that I'm looking for? Uh, exotic, all that junk. Nah, that don't appeal to me. Not like my sisters. Like, they are like a copy. Everything that's beautiful about, that I see beautiful in another race, it's my sister's have. Like, if I see a, 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 a Caucasian, I like her lips because she got big juicy lips like a Negro. If I see a woman, I like her body because she got a body like a Hebrew sister. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't trip over that, because I'm like, I feel the same way. The Hebrew black woman is the most beautiful woman on earth, and nobody can touch her. So, no, you're not supposed to. I don't care if you think our women beautiful or not. They not your women to even try to pursue. That's why I don't care for, if it's not a Hebrew sister. I don't care for white women or Mexican women or Indians or whoever they are. They're not my concern. They're not my women. I'm not trying to holler at you. I'm not trying to give you a compliment. I'm not trying to say you look good, you smell. No, you're not my women. I stick to my women. So, I don't get offensive with other races to be like, I don't like, think so and so is sexy. Well, you don't supposed to. I do. As long as I do. It's just like I don't think y'all women are sexy. But a lot of it just be hate. If we want to know the truth, it be jealousy. But nevertheless, as the apostles wrote, keep peace with all men if it's possible. And I believe this is one of the ways we can keep peace. You know, uh, and like I said before, before segregation, when we were separated, we flourish, we succeed. This is where we get the Black Wall Street from, and all this. You know what I'm saying? All these, we was at the black teachers was teaching. We was teaching our own kids. Now you see what happened when we be integrated into this society where we being taught by racist, righteous teachers racist white teacher that don't pay us no attention and fail us on purpose. You see the dominoes effect just of everything, the whole genocide. If we just be quite frank and honest without, just be honest, genocide what they tried to commit on our people. But through the grace of the Most High, we still here. It was just plain hate when you really see all the things they done to us, and they wonder why we damaged. But that's another video for another day. Yeah, just my perspective in a white only community. And I think that we as a people, we need to start having this perspective because we need to love and care for ourselves so much that what they do don't affect us. I don't care if they like us. I don't care if they don't like us. I don't care if they say mean things about it. Don't say mean things. Just as long as you respect me and give me what I earn and what I deserve, and don't take nothing from me and don't harm me or my people. Feel what you feel, because you can't stop people from feeling the way they feel, like the way they like. The only thing we can control is us and our emotions and who we are as a people and our character. And that always went a long way. Because our ancestors was even though they had to do what they do, they still show love and uh, fought with grace and mercy. It's the reason that I can stand here today and be proud to be a descendant of slave. But some would say, oh, wouldn't that be embarrassed to be a descendant of slave? No, as black people, we know, and other people know. They give us props. Wow, y'all people are amazing. The things y'all had to endure and go through. And while you was going through it, we still sang praises to the Most High. We still whistle. And we still, once we got free, then try to get revenge or do nothing. We just want to be left alone, and we succeeded. But nah, this whole idea of being diverse by not being diverse and wanting us to be a melting pot and just interact and mix with one another and culture and boundary, all that's confusion. Uh, and we see what that got us. It's time that we change our mindset from this matrix to how they want us to think. You can have division without uh, chaos. There can be division and order. They like to say divide and conquer, divide and conquer. Well, dividing amongst ourselves is how we get conquered. When you spread us out, when we and all these other nations that we all in different neighborhoods. But when we all come together as one people and have that type of righteous separation with order, yes, you can say that's divide and conquer. Because once we divide from people that's bringing us down, we gonna conquer. Once we divide and separate from people that smothering us and watering us down and crippling us, then we can conquer. But at the end of the day, let Yah be true and every man a lie. Till next time, Shalom.